Howdy, y'alls. Welcome back. It's me, Dr. Edwards, here for Anth 111. Um, this week, we're diving into Module 3, which is all about symbols, language, and culture. Now, these are three intimately related, connected topics within anthropology. And I want to start off with just kind of explaining what a symbol is. A symbol is anything that conveys cultural understanding or meaning, right? Uh, that seems really broad, but that's actually the point because symbols are incredibly broad. They're all around us. Um, use a silly example here. My coffee cup. Always use the coffee cup as a go-to an example. It's amazing how versatile these things are. Anyway, you'll see it says Star Wars, right? Now, even if you haven't seen the movie, that means something to you. You know it's a movie. Um, More than that, if you've seen it, you have certain insights into it. That's a symbol, right? This language, written, text written, right? So it's these abstract squiggles that you're able to interpret, and it conveys a particular meaning, right? Um, yeah, this is the basis of human communication, and it's important to realize that not all communication is verbal. There's all sorts of different communication. Art is a huge form of communication. It's a form of expression. You, you think of think of your favorite artist. One of mine is, let's see here. I like Klimt. He's pretty cool. I'll pick a popular one, Picasso. All right. Now, probably when I say Picasso, you're like, abstract, expression, and you might even think like, oh, that's just really weird. It doesn't look realistic. But just saying that name conveys certain meaning to you, right? It's understandable. Now, if you were to actually take a piece, right, and I have one posted in the written portion of this announcement, and it's a pretty famous one. It's called Damso de Avignon, and it was painted in 1907, and it's extremely reflective of the time period. Right? It's kind of the colonial consciousness is catching up with itself. They're beginning to realize, European colonizers in particular, are coming to realize the impact that they've had in taking and controlling distant territories. And you can see this in this picture, and you're like, well, how? Well, there's a couple of masks that are painted on these figures, and the figures are actually prostitutes. So the story goes. And the masks are representative. We actually believe we've identified the particular masks that were Picasso's inspiration, and they're from a particular group in West Africa called the Igbo and Nigeria area. This painting, when you look at it, can actually be looked as kind of a reflection of globalization of the era. That it's showing that people are mingling from different places in professions. Yeah, it's all symbolic. It's highly reflective. Religious art is another great one. I'm not particularly a religious person, but I love studying and exploring various iconography that's used in religions. You see a Buddha, but you have an instant understanding of what it means, if you're familiar with it, of course. What are some others? Yeah, thinking about religious iconography or religious art, it can also be extremely revealing. A great example is voodoo in Haiti. There's something called syncretism that's happening where voodoo borrows Western religious icons and images and adopts them kind of as their own. So you can think kind of acculturation, but they're also maintaining their own cultural values at the same time. So it's not assimilation, right? Think of it as adopting another practice to hide something. Okay, and in this case, they're hiding their religious beliefs, which have everything to do with spirits called Loa, if I remember right. Anyway, I don't mean to get off tangent. The point is that these religious images can be revealing. They can show inside perspectives that have cultural meaning and value. But that's the key thing. You have to be familiar with it. And when you visit another culture, that's one of the key things that happens. When I moved to Africa, there were all sorts of symbols all around me that I'm like, whoa, what? I don't understand. What is going on here? And that's really reflecting that I'm not able to interpret the symbols. Okay. Now, with time, patience, practice, I was able to learn local cultural values and norms, and symbols became readable. Yeah, try to think of some things. There's a figure called the Chwara in Mali, and it's an antelope, but it's very stylized. And if you were to look at it, you probably wouldn't realize that. But yeah, it's probably not the best example, but it gets my point across. You have to know what to look for, and until you know what to look for, it may be just completely arbitrary and abstract, and you can't understand it. Another form of language communication symbolism is seen in body language, right? Up to 90% of our communication is actually nonverbal, right? So it's not just things that I'm saying or writing, okay? My body language, how I'm holding myself, making eye contact. Yeah, one of my favorite things to do is when I'm checking out at a store or something, if I'm on the line, people watching. It's awesome. It's fun. It's free entertainment. Yeah, if somebody's sitting there tapping their foot, they're impatient. You can see things about actual people. What are they buying? Are they buying a lot? Are they buying a little? Are they, the particular things, might they be reflective of, they're buying the really fancy mustard compared to, just the regular mustard? I'm not trying to suggest anybody's preferences on mustards, but, if they're buying really expensive items, that might be reflective of socioeconomic class, all right? And you could probably infer political ideas as well. Symbols are everywhere. And I think a great way to kind of look at this is through the concept of performance. Think of all the world around you as the stage, and everyone is performing on it. All the things are performing as well. I know it's very revealing for me when I put that hat on and look at the world. And I want to encourage you all to practice it in your daily lives. I think it'll really help, not just for this class, but also incredible personal insights that you can gain out of it. So that's where I'm going to leave this announcement. I'll be putting together another one for this week's assignments. Be sure to check that out. Of course, if you have any questions, any concerns, any issues, don't you hesitate to contact me. I'm here to help you in any and every way I can. All my contact info is posted. Don't bother. Don't feel like you're bothering me. I'm here to help. So take care, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.